Okay. All right. So we're just to remember, we're going to use this elastic band and a step bench today if you have one. And we're doing our standing warm up. Now we're going to come behind the chair. You're going to face the screen. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me a little better. But we're gonna do some stretching. We're gonna take a step back and take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then let your seat go back toward the wall behind you and your head come down between your arms. And then you want to more or less look toward the seat of your chair. So your neck is not hanging and bending, but the neck is straight. We can bend the knees a little because it's quite a bit of a hamstring stretch. And let's think of the shoulders to begin with. So a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. See if you can sink your heart a little closer to the floor. Pull your belly and urinary muscles in. And we're mainly stretching in the shoulders. Another breath in, a breath out, and see about sinking a little more. Let your seat really pull back toward the wall behind you. And then let's just come up like an inch with the head. And we'll try straightening one knee at a time, transferring our focus to the back of the thigh. So I'm doing a little straightening on one side and then the other of the knee to stretch the back of my leg. Okay, now pull your belly in. Let's come up a little more. And we're going to drop one arm. Okay, squeeze your seat now if you can, belly and urinary muscles. We're going to take one arm out to the side. Try to follow it with the corner of your eye. We're going to come down. We're going to bend the elbow and rotate up and down. We'll do the arm again. We're working now on the upper back. Bend the elbow, pull back, and turn. And then we'll switch arms. Say your back or your neck are getting tired. One thing is trying to keep the neck neutral, but you could step a little closer to your chair if you're feeling that fatigue. Let's drop the other arm. So we're reaching forward to the chair, drop the other arm, and we're looking out. And then bend the elbow and pull back. We'll do that one more time. Pulling out, elbow, and a little rotate with that. So a lot of back muscles, upper back muscles, middle back, lower back. Here we are stretched out. Let's see if we can drop the fingers to the floor. Bend the knees a little. Let your head dangle. And now straighten one knee at a time, alternating. And then we'll unfurl to come up. Okay. My neighbors get their yard work done on Tuesdays often. Okay. A little more bending over. We're going to separate the legs. Okay. And we're going to bring the arms out. Feel free to bend your knees as needed. We're just going to do a twist and touch the opposite knee. You come back up and a twist and touch and back up. A twist and touch and up. Getting some muscles in here, a twist and touch, and up. Let's do a few toe walks up on the tippy toes. As you do it, think of stretching your whole body up toward the ceiling. The long neck, long rib cage and trunk. Keep that stretch, and we're going up and do a little heel walk. Okay, let's do a breath in and out. And I'm gonna move toward the bench. So you could do these all with or without a bench. If you're using the bench, you want your chair, or if you're on the floor, if you're standing, you want to be behind your chair. So if you're on the bench, you just move the chair forward. And if you're standing on the floor, you just want to be behind the bench. So the side lunges, I'm moving my chair so you can see me. The side lunges are an important part of our bone density work. And so we're gonna do some side lunges and modifications. So we're gonna start standing in the center. Back a little. Standing in the center. And you're on the end of your bench, the closest to the screen. Chair would be right in front of you. Let's get a feel for stepping off to the side and getting some impact in that hip. Now, to come up, push your seat forward, so contracting your seat and give a little push off. Let's go to the other side. Coming down and push. So because the lunge involves that hinge at the hip, and then you push your seat forward using your seat muscle, and push back to the center. Do that again, going down to our lunge, and back up, and down to our lunge, and back up. Let's take a breath in, and a breath out. We'll try a variation on that. We come down to our lunge. This leg on the bench, we're gonna lift up and out to the side, and then we're gonna push off, seat coming forward, back to the bench. Go to the other side, that lunge, hinge, lifting from the bench, off to the side, keeping that foot carefully placed so you have room for your other foot to come back, and then pushing the seat forward to help us back up. Lunge, hinge, kick that foot out, coming back up, and a lunge, hinge, kick, carefully on the bench, and back up. A breath in, and a breath out. Okay, now we're gonna think of lunging over the bench. Okay, and so here you're going to have to be careful, and if you don't have a bench, you just step like you're stepping over something. And that's part of the fall prevention, part of side lunging. Step over, and then we'll shift. And we're going to get all of our weight over on that lead leg. We've hinged. We're going to do a kick front and back with this leg back here. Front, back, down. Leave room now for your foot next to your bench. So you might have to move this one out a little. Seat forward, lift, and over. Let's do that again. Up, over, hinge, shift your weight, flat back, wide shoulders, belly in, urinary muscles in, a little kick, kick. Now we're going to lift it, come over with that leg. Okay. A breath in, a breath out. So working on bone density of the hip and fall prevention. Let's do the other way. Up and over, stepping out, shift, your weight, hinge. I feel all my weight in this hip. Now I'm going to lighten up here and try my kick forward, kick, kick back, kick, put it down, leave room for my foot, feet forward and back over, step, hinge at the hip, shift the weight, a little kick, kick, back down, leaving room for my foot, feet forward, coming back. Okay, breath in, a breath out. All that really good for the hips and the balance. So, and then we're going to finish by turning the bench facing forward. We're going to have the chair right at your side. So if you're standing without a bench, you just stand in this very same position and do the very same movements. Okay. What we're going to start with is a step, and you can practice this on the ground. I'm bringing my hands up. I'm contracting my core. And after I step forward, I'm going to do a elbow twist. Step back together, step forward, elbow twist, back together, front, elbow twist, back together, front, elbow twist, back together. Now can all be done with a hand on the bench, together. So to keep that in mind, especially the first time. Okay, so let's try that. If you're using a bench, you'll be stepping up, one hand, both hands up, or you could do one hand up to start with, a step, twist, back, together, front, twist, back, together. Now that I'm comfortable, I'm contracting my belly and my urinary muscles to go along with that. Last one. Breath in and out, adding my core. And then a little practice for our next move is a kick. So a step, kick, back, together, front, kick, back, together. Now you can reach the hand if you feel okay with it, or you can leave your hands down and hold on. So left side, if you have a bench, you're going to step fairly close. We'll try that no hands first. Step, kick, back, together, a step, kick, back, together. If you want to add hands, I do my opposite hand. So a step, kick, back, together, and it's just kind of a slight bit of a reach. Back, together, step, kick, back, together, and then step, kick, back, together. All of that good for balance. That's also real good for the core, especially the front of the body there. So now we're going to put this bench aside if you have one. And we're going to move to some exercises that are really specifically for bone density, which involve impacts to the floor. So you want to get to a part of your floor that's not very cushioned, if you have it, or if you have some floor that has no carpet on it at all, that's ideal. We want to strike the floor with the heel. And you want to lift about 8 or 9 inches. We'll also do jogging. If so, we try to lift 8 or 9 inches and contract your seat at the same time. Okay. And if we can do thumping and jumping, which is a lift, thump to the heel, lift, thump. We might do a jump or jump in different positions. all those to bring impacts into the hip. So we're gonna add some music, kind of in honor of Independence Day. Belly, seat, breath. Now you can jump if you want. Jump out. Up. Okay. Good work. Think I can open my window again. All right, so we have another part of our work on balance and hips especially is the squats. Let's go ahead, tighten your seat, belly, urinary muscles, get that lift. A breath in and out. A breath in and out. And we're gonna hinge at the hip, reach back, maybe touch the chair, and lower softly to the chair. Contract your belly and we'll come back up. And let's go part way down. Okay, from here, can you step out, in to the chair, part way up. belly in, especially seat contracting, urinary muscles contracting, out, out, in, slowly down, and up, part way, out, out, in, slowly down, and up, out, out, in, slowly down, and lean back in your chair. Take your shoes off. That hinge at the hip, that's stepping out and in. Really good for creating muscle pull at the hip for bone density and also hip stability. Okay, we're going to go ahead and now swing the knee. So feet together, knees together, belly contracting, seat contracting. And we're trying to fully straighten the knees after all the impacts and squats. We'll bring those down. Well, we're going to come halfway forward in the chair. We're going to do some seated movement and stretching. All the time we're working on core. So seated is a very good position to focus on your urinary muscles, lifting from the chair, your stomach being tight and clenched, your seat being clenched. And then we're going to open and close the hands. So it's a firm spread, a light close, firmly spread, lightly close, firmly spread the fingers so they're really separated. You can see better that way. Lightly close, firmly spread. As we spread this time, let's hold that and just find your core. Make sure your back muscles are working and you're really up straight. And let's pivot, palms up, forward and back, palms up, forward and down. And relax your fingers. We're going to circle in the wrist, working on that stretching and keeping the wrist healthy with good range of motion. And while the arms are out, let's do a side bend, a reach up. Now try to keep that length as you come back to center. And we'll go to the other side then. Reach up and keeping some length as we come back to center. Okay. We're going to bring the arms forward and big backward arm circle. Let's do one arm. Think of your shoulder moving in the joint, smooth and coordinated. But also remember, if your shoulder hurts with some of the movements, you just decrease the size of the shoulder circle, or you may be able to do only one on one side, or you could skip that if it bothers your shoulder. Let's go ahead. We're gonna bring the fingers and the palms together. And then I'm trying to widen my elbows and lower my palms. So I kind of have a straight line from elbow to elbow, but the heel of the hand needs to stay together. So sometimes this is as stretchy as you get with your wrist. Sometimes it could be like this. Wherever we are, what we want to do, I'm going to move closer so you can see. We want to slide one hand up in relation to the other hand. Keep the elbows out, shoulders down, and then seat and belly also contracting. And we're going to push over just gently, no pain. Just think of gentle mobility and work on the connected tissues. We'll come to center. Slide the other finger up and elbows out, shoulders wide, neck relaxed. Seat and belly working, a push over, back to the center, and a push over, and back to the center. And then we'll interlace, and we'll push the palms out, and lift overhead. Side bend one way and the other. Really feeling the stretch along the ribs with the wrists extended like that, down to the head, down to the front, and then we interlace the other way. So other forefinger comes closer to your face. Elbows forward. And this time we'll rotate. Oh. So here, really use your seat, your back, and your belly to make that happen. So the rotation part is really for the core while we hold the wrist and finger stretch. We'll bring that in and bring those down. And then we want to go to some work on the ankles and feet before we move on and we're going to our bands. So let's go ahead. Halfway forward in the chair, belly in, feet contracted, urinary muscles tight, back muscles working, hold up straight. And we're trying to, with strength and coordination, do a little march where you point the toe. So I'm trying to point the toe. Each time I lift my knee, you need a little help. You can put the heel of your hand on your seat, kind of the back of your hips. A little more advanced, it's not using your hands, but now belly firmly tightened. We're going to lift and hold and then circle in that ankle. And with that ankle circle, we're going for a really big circle. All the while working on the core muscles by keeping the back straight, shoulders wide, chin slightly down so the neck can be relaxed. And then we'll grab and pull, give a stretch, a chance to get an extra stretch in the low back. Pull in your belly and we'll lower that. You can just face forward. I just noticed you can see a little better on the sideways. Okay, straight back. Good support with your hands if you need it. If your back starts to hurt, very important to support or even lean back in your chair. So always be aware, or your neck, if your neck starts to hurt. You want to accommodate for that. Okay, let's do a little few knee lifts. Belly in, neck. So the chin is even maybe slightly tucked, so the neck is not activated. And then we're going to lift the other knee, point the toe, and do at my speed if you can, that big full range of motion and then ankle circle. And we'll go the other direction. It's about flexibility. And then we'll grab and pull. And as you do that with straight back, you'll feel some back stretch and hip stretch. And then we'll have that come down. And then go ahead and scooch back in your chair and straighten your knees. Really contract the stomach with this, and let's flex and extend in the ankles so that really firm, full range of motion. Flexing and extending. Belly really getting its workout here. Okay, and now what we're going to do, you can relax your ankles, pull your belly in firmly, and we're going to do a little straight leg flutter kick to really activate these belly muscles. Relax your neck. We're going to jostle the head. We want the belly to be doing the work. And we'll bring those down. And then we'll sweep out and in. Now thinking of relaxing the thighs and the knees. Contract your belly. We're going to hold them out again. And we're going to do a toe heel touch. this rotation happens mostly up the hip, toes, heels, toes, heel. And we'll bring those down to the floor, and then we'll sit up from the back of the chair, scoot forward a few inches. Now your feet are flat. So we've done a lot of toe rises today, but when we do this seated, curling to the tippy toe, we add the foot muscles. So we want to get that upright posture, and I'm alternating going to the tippy toe. I'm feeling this in the arch of my foot as well as the calf. So strengthening those muscles for walking. Shoulders wide, back and down, neck relaxed, feet contracting, belly contracting as we get those muscles. Push some back, so we're in a good spot. We're gonna take a breath in, and then with a straight, flat back, we're gonna slowly walk down. Walk down. So back muscles are keeping you from falling forward. Touch the floor and walk right back up. Here, you really feel it. Flat back muscles slowly lifting you up. And we'll go back down again. And climbing back up. And let's go off to the side. Slowly down. Maybe you touch your toe. Reach right back out. Slowly up. The back strengthening sequence here over. So the back muscles are stronger. It affects bone density of the spine. Exhale. We'll do an inhale with the jump out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And scooch forward a little. So you're close to the front edge of your chair. Bring your feet out. Tighten the belly, hands here, and we'll slowly lean back. We're hoping to touch the chair gently. Tighten the belly and come up. Doing a modified sit-up, which involves really tightening or squeezing the belly. Think of pulling your tailbone towards your belly button if you're having trouble finding that. Back and up. Slowly back, a little slower. Keep that tightening. See if you can land real gently. And then let's go to the tippy toes. Bring the arms down. Tuck your chin a little. Pull in your belly enough to flatten your back as we tap, tap, tap. Let's lift both knees up. Give a pull. Feel the stretch in the low back. Contract the belly as we point the toes and slowly down. The tap, tap, tap. Belly really tightening. Keeping the chin tucked. And then maybe a lift, a pull. And we'll let go, tighten your belly firmly as we slowly lower. And we're going to come to the ball of the foot. Open. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Any tight muscles in your hip. And touch. Open. So my toe is staying on the ground. I'm letting my knee fall out and stretching, stretching. I'm going to go to the other side. Toe on the ground. My back is flat. Heart's lifted. Shoulders are wide. Chin parallel to the ground. So my neck's not feeling tension. Opening the knee. And coming in. And opening letting that stretch. Now I'm fairly far forward on the front of the chair, and I'm thinking of doing something for bone density of the wrist, although we're going to use bands very soon for that also. But this is this movement where you hold onto the chair, straighten up, press the heel of your hand into the chair. And if you can see my hand, I'm not extending my wrist very much because that really can bother your wrist. So I'm kind of, so my wrist is still fairly straight here. And my chair is good so that I can just do that with the straight wrist. I'm out to the front edge of the chair, trying to bring my hand really close to my hips. Now I can see I need to straighten up. And I'm going to start with a push into the heel of the hand. And I just feel that very good, it's good, healthy force into the wrist bones and the forearm. So if you don't have shoulder, elbow, or really neck problems, it's possible to even lift your whole weight and just slide your hips forward. And another possibility is that little dip for the tricep muscle. So all of that can be done in stages, and you find the stage that works for you. So this is the bone density stage. This kind of involves more core here, sliding forward and more bone density, and then the arm strengthening. If you want to belly in, and slide back over. Okay, and then we want to follow that to some open close, out to the side, let's circle. This is gonna make everybody feel like they need to stretch their wrist. A lot of compression. Okay, let's get our shoes on and we'll get ready to stand and use the band. So the band exercises can be done standing or seated. Oh, we are going to start with the seated one. So go ahead and get your shoes on. You just only really need your shoes if you're on a surface where you could slip. So we're going to be lunging. And if you're on like a really good carpet that's not slippery at all, barefoot is just fine. I did want to start seated with an exercise that's for the biceps mostly. And so for this one, we start halfway forward in the chair. And straighten up, elbows back, and forearms right at your rib cage, right at your sides. This is going to be our position that we want to go to. So let's lift, loop the arch of your foot, and now we have the elbows straight. So you want good tension in the rope, elbows straight, but shoulders still wide and back still straight. So it's not, we're not doing this. We're starting here. And then we just pull our elbows straight back to that position. That's our go-to position. And then slowly straighten. We're going to pull back and pause. We're going to release halfway and pause and slowly straighten. Pull, pull, pull. Release, release, release. Pull, 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 and release, release, release. Just such a great exercise that gets both your upper back and your biceps. We'll unloop from the other foot flat. Then you might have to straighten up and widen the shoulders. Make sure your band is tight enough. You may think, oh, that was so easy. Or in this case, if you want, I might do that, you can double your band because these are pretty strong muscles. If you want more resistance. Okay, and you're getting all this grip strength and bone density from the pull on the wrist this time. Okay, pull elbows back and slowly straighten. We're going to pull back and pause, really pulling the elbows back, really getting the upper back as well as the biceps. Go halfway and pause. Straighten. Now we'll do it in 3 pauses. 1, straight back. 2, good. 3, elbows way back, and then slowly back out. 1, 2, 3, pulling back. 1, 2, 3, really getting strong contraction. Slowly release. 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna unloop. And let's do this seated where we do shoulder range of motion. So please note, if you've ever had a shoulder fracture, dislocation, sprain, you want to just go up and down to the front. If you've not had that kind of problem with your shoulder, we're going to go down behind the back. So this is if you've never had a shoulder problem, go down and back up. If you've had a shoulder problem, you go up, which is really good, and down. So let's see, your choice, where you need to go with that. We might do one more. And just working here on range of motion in the shoulder. Okay. Let's go ahead. We'll stand and we'll go next to the chair. And we're going to hold our hands about hip width apart. And we're going to stand toward the back edge of the back leg of the chair and do a forward lunge. Come on the ball of the back foot, come into the heel of your front foot, and then we squeeze the seat, belly, and urinary muscles. And we're going to bring this up like this. So my elbows are forward. Now I'm going to do a pull out like this. And I'm going to go down and up. And so you can adjust the tension in your band. Pull out, down, and up. And I'm going to come together and I'm going to step back, pushing off of the heel of my foot. And I'm going to step forward on the other foot. Flat foot, follow the back foot. Try to think if my toes are both facing straight forward. Heel of your front foot, seat, belly, urinary contracting. Bring this up. Have a little loop in mind. Out, down, up, in, out, down, up, forward, pushing off the heel of my front foot, stepping back. So using that lunge position for leg strength, balance, and bone density. Let's do each side again. Heel of the front foot, deep belly contracting, toes forward. We just bring our hands together in front and then we'll just spread out. And then we rotate for the rotator cuff while we're also working on the upper back. Out, belly and seat. So give energy to that lunge. Up and in, off the heel. And forward on the other foot. heel of the foot in front, all those core muscles working. And this time we're going to change this to kind of a stretch. So straight elbows to start with, bend and turn, straight elbows, bend and turn, straight elbows, bend and turn, straight elbows, bend and turn. And then we'll just push off the heel, coming back here. All right, let's go now. We're going to go to a back lunge. We're going to step to the front of the chair so that when we lunge back, you can reach your chair if you need to. Because lunges are definitely balance work. We're going under the arch of the foot. We have starting out with straight elbows with tension in the band. Like elbows should point back. I'm adding my core as I stand here, and then I'm stretching back to the ball of the foot, bend to both knees, weight in the heel of the front foot. And I'm going to do something for my belly. I'm going to do a punch, punch, step forward, step back again, get those core muscles contracted, a punch, 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 and step forward, that diagonal punch. Now I'm going to go to my other foot and back of the ball of the foot, bend both knees, and just noticing you can reach out even with your band if you need a moment to balance. Squeeze seat, belly, urinary muscles, still punch, 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 a step forward, a step back, positioning our lunge, add your core, punch, 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 and step forward. And now we're going to go under both feet. And I'm going to scooch to behind my chair. Okay. And now here, I'm going to contract my seat, urinary and belly muscles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sideways walk behind the chair. So I can have straight arms, some good tension in the band. I'm just going to walk sideways. Be sure to contract the seat. That really works on hip strength and stability. Side walk to each side. Okay, and now feet hip width apart. We're going to bend the knees a little. Okay. All right, we're going to come down. This is going to be like we did at the beginning of class without the band. Bend, bring it up, and if you can, to the shoulders. We're going to bring straight and pause, down, and then not sticking the seat out, push the hips forward to come up, straight forward, up to the shoulders, straight forward, and down, push forward, front, up, front, and down. And then for another muscle in the shoulder, we'll do elbows out and pulling the thumb up towards your armpit, and the pull, and the pull, a pull, and the pull. Okay, good work with the band. So the bands, more so than hand weights, are good for that bone density of the wrist, but also they put quite a bit of stress on the wrist. So before we do our deep breath, let's bring our elbows in. feet hip width apart, all the core muscles working. Let's go out and cross. This is for the rotator muscles. Let's go out and leave it. Let's lightly close and spread. Close and spread. Seat tight, heart lifted, close and spread. We'll go out and let's circle. And then circle the other way. And done in a way it just feels good, feels needed. And then we'll get stable, get where you have space for your arms to move so we can do our 5 deep, vigorous breaths using the arms. Pull back in through the nose, out through the mouth, core partially contracted. Okay. So, here's the button.